AD, clearly you've been the leader. This defense came into this game second in defensive efficiency. LeBron and Darvin, Russ talked about how it wasn't there tonight. Did you notice some of the specific things that weren't there, and how do you guys correct that for the next game?
Yeah, our game plan discipline was terrible tonight. Our effort was terrible. These guys got whatever they want. Hats off to them. They made a lot of shots, but we wasn't ourselves on the defensive end. We were a much better defensive team than what we showed tonight, and you kind of look at film, tomorrow, tonight, and see what we can be better. See the areas we can be better at, and get ready for a tough, really good team coming in, tough team coming in on Sunday. And then we see these guys again on Monday. So, we just wasn't ourselves on the defensive end tonight.
The one kind of thing you could say through the first 7 games, there was consistency in effort and consistency in competitive nature. Is there any reasoning that you can point to of why this didn't match the rest of those games?
No, I have to watch the tape first and kind of see, but our communication was low tonight. It's like our discipline just wasn't there. We were doing things we never really do. Leaving guys on the island, or backside wasn't talking and, protecting, and, we wasn't guarding the ball. Just like every facet of defense, we just wasn't there tonight. Transition, which is tough because we play really well on the other end, and we come out at halftime. I think we had them 20 points or something like that, and 25, whatever. But that was like our best defensive quarter in the third quarter. We gave them 75 in the first half, which, was shocking to all of us. Came out with some intensity in the third quarter on the defensive end, and, they get back to doing what they want in the fourth quarter. So, we have not been this team, which is a good thing, knowing that, we can get back to where we need to be. But we definitely took some steps backwards tonight.
AD, I know defense was the main thing tonight, but given how hot you started, 20 points the first half, then just 4 shots in the second, is that finding balance? Is that come from you looking for spots? Is that more of a team issue? Do you think? What has to happen to balance that out a little bit?
Demanding the ball, had some good looks, missed them. I can't allow myself to go, 4 or 5, 6 minutes without getting a shot. Whether I start hot or not, my job is to score the basketball, help the team win, and it's on me, only getting 4 shots in the second half.
AD, you mentioned the offensive end. You guys had almost a 50, 40, 90 night as a team. You attempted season-high 28 free throw attempts. What was working so well, and how much of that was kind of like the pace of also them kind of scoring, and then you guys kind of getting into your offense earlier as well?
We were getting whatever we wanted on the offensive end. I think no team was really playing defense, honestly, tonight. We were moving the basketball, getting offensive rebounds, guys were making shots. Like I said, guys were getting to the line. We did everything we needed to do on the offensive end. And our offense starting to, find itself. The last couple games we've been able to shoot the ball really well, which helped us to some wins. But we also played defense as well. So, the big difference tonight is, we played well offensively. You say almost 50, 40, 90, and tonight we didn't play a lick of defense. So, that's the difference. Gave them 130 points, which is not us. So, get back to our defensive ways and then continue to figure out how to get better and better each day on the offensive end.
Last question, Michael.
Hey, AD, how do you sort of gauge when a game like tonight is an actual kind of concerning about the defensive effort versus just one in a long marathon of a season?
don't think it's concerning because we're a really good defensive team. You know, so it's nothing to be alarmed about. We know we can get back to where we need to be. You know, I think it's just one of those nights where, you know, a team come in really hot. You know, they do a really good job of moving the basketball, cutting without the basketball. I think they're third in offensive rebounds. So they do a lot of things, and you know, we just wasn't. Our effort wasn't there tonight, which we can change. You know, a lot of things that they were doing that caused us to have bad defense was self-inflicted. So, you know, that's a good thing that, you know, it's all about us on what we can change, you know, individually and as a team. Rebounding, we can control that. You know, keeping our man in front, we can control that. That's all effort. You know, if it's, you know, anything else, then it goes to schemes and things like that. But this was all just on us as players.
LeBron, first of all, I know you don't love to talk about it, but just the foot, was that the same kind of thing that's been giving you soreness? You were able to get up and play through it, but I'm just wondering how that was.
I mean, I don't know if I stepped on Laurie's foot or not. It was just a turn in the ankle, but I'll be fine. I'll be ready for Sunday afternoon, and we move forward. But oh, happy birthday, by the way. 21.
Oh,
I didn't bring the Lobos with me tonight. I
Plus 20.
apologize. I haven't drank all week, so next time we have one, we can take a shot.
appreciate it. Deal. It's probably the first game that you guys haven't had that kind of early defensive energy. When you notice that that's happening, is it difficult to change that within the context of one night?
It is. I mean, especially when you hang your hats on the defensive end. I mean, there's going to be some. We don't never want it to happen, but there's some games throughout the course of 82 season game where you obviously you just don't have it defensively, and we didn't have it. You know, for 48 minutes, we had it in spurts. You know, but we know in order for us to win, we got to defend. And you know, tonight I think we had a 50, 40, 90 offensive night, and we still lost. So that's why I was talking earlier in the season about it's not about the offense. We have to defend, and obviously we got to make shots. But if we defend, we're gonna give ourselves a better chance to win. And tonight, you know, even though when we cut the lead down to 2, we made that good push. We was always playing uphill, just always playing uphill. But give credit to Utah. That was a very well orchestrated team. You know, they got a lot of very just solid, good, cerebral IQ basketball players on the floor, and they got a lot of them.
LeBron, Darvin was talking about this team beforehand, sort of comparing it to sort of in makeup his Atlanta teams that didn't really have like one leading guy. Is it hard for the defense to kind of key in on what you have to do when there is, you know, not a headliner, so to speak, or a head of the snake?
No, I think if you go into the game thinking that way, then you will definitely get burned. We know what they're capable of doing. We know Mike Conley can catch fire. Obviously, we know JC has been a burner since he came into this league. Laurie has been playing great basketball this year. Played great basketball in Chicago and in Cleveland as well. Kelly O can play good basketball. Had a game winner in New Orleans earlier in the season. Colin was on the verge of being an all-star in the Eastern Conference at one point before the injury, and so on and so on. They just keep bringing in more and more talent. So you respect guys that no matter who's out on the floor, no matter what their resume speaks for itself. But when you're an NBA player, you gotta be ready for everything. And tonight they gave us everything, and they made some. They was knocking down shots. They was moving the ball, sharing the ball. They was playing with speed, playing with pace. Kept us on our heels throughout the 48-minute game.
Dan.
LeBron, sort of, this relates to what I'm going to ask you. Virally, I guess, how are you feeling right now? I know you said I think you've basically been in bed since Sunday. Have you been able to turn any corners on that front?
Felt a little bit better today than I did on Wednesday. And hopefully, if I continue to improve over the last 48 hours, going forward, or probably less than that, obviously, because it was 12:30 start on Sunday. But if I can improve over the next 36 hours, then I feel a lot much better too. I feel like my color is coming back. I feel more like pale and just not have much energy at all. Not quite to 100%, but definitely almost there.
You feel, I'm sure that shows up in a lot of different ways on the court. I think you've missed your last 13 threes, last 2 games. Are you feeling it in your legs?
Yeah, I think from the moment that I just haven't had my rhythm. I lost my rhythm, when, I kind of hate this bug. Not only the threes, a couple of the layups has been short around the rim. So, just feel like my rhythm just been off. I haven't had an opportunity to, get on the practice floor because I've been kind of not only told to stay away, but advised to stay away to kind of save my energy for the games. But looking forward to getting back into our practice facility so I can get my shots that I'm of course used to doing in between games.
Dave?
LeBron, we haven't heard much from players around the league this week about Kyrie Irving's social media posts and subsequent comments. I was just curious, why do you think that is, considering this league is so socially conscious?
I'm not sure. If you want to ask me a question, you can ask me. I can't speak for 449 players.
Sure. Certainly your position, you've been in the position of the best to speak for the league. I can tell you this. It's simple. Me personally, I don't condone any hate to any kind, to any race, to Jewish communities, to black communities, to Asian communities. You guys know where I stand, and it's part of the reason why I didn't air the Shop episode, why we kicked that, out of the archives, because it was hate conversation going on there, and I don't represent that. There's no place in this world for it. Nobody can benefit from that, and I believe what Kyrie did caused some harm to a lot of people. And he has since, over the last, I think today, or was it yesterday, he apologized. But he caused some harm. And I think it's unfortunate, but I don't stand on the position to harm people when it comes to your voice or your platform or anything. And so it doesn't matter what color your skin is, how tall you are, what position you are in. If you are promoting or soliciting or saying harmful things to any community that harm people, then I don't respect it. I don't condone it. Considering you do identify that his actions as being harmful to people, what do you believe could be a resolution for him to get past the current suspensions that he has with the Nets and Nike?
I don't know. Because at the end of the day, Kyrie is his own man. He stands up in front of the media and speaks. He is a man. He has a great family. I mean, I love the kid. Well, he's not even a kid anymore. He's 30. He just said that the other day in his presser. I was like, it's insane. I don't know the direction, the steps that he take. But he's apologized for what he said. And I hope that he understands that what he said was harmful to a lot of people. And we as humans, none of us are perfect, but I hope he understands how, what he did or the actions that he took was just harmful to a lot of people. I really didn't get into it too much, but I understand that when you hurting anybody, I understand that. That is just common sense.
Last 2.
LeBron, sticking with the theme of social consciousness, you've been very vocal about civic engagement, and the league is actually shutting down games on Tuesday to encourage voting. Why do you think, in your opinion, it's actually necessary to do that?
I think from the black community, and obviously our league is predominantly black athletes, black players, black men. Our community, we talk and speak about change a lot. So in order to have change, we have to get out and actually put our mouths and put our hands and put our pens or pencils to the polls. And it can start in your community, and then it starts in the city, and then out to the state, and then all the way, out the country. We have an opportunity to be able to say that you've done your due diligence to try to help create change in your community. We've been oppressed for so long. Obviously, I had the More Than a Vote initiative when we was in the bubble. I was very active with that, and our so many musicians and athletes and leaders was able to come on board with us. But we've been oppressed for so long. They've told us we couldn't vote. They told our women, our black women, they weren't allowed to vote for so many years, and but they continue to reprimand us or do things to us in our community that harm us and harm our family. And we sit here and wonder why and what's going on. So I think it's very important that, you get educated about what's going on, who is your local people are that's going to be making decisions in your community, making decisions that could affect you, could affect your family, could affect your school districts and things of that nature. Because it's important. I know we, as black people, sometimes we don't believe that our vote counts. We don't believe that it matters. And I can just say black people because I just know my people. I can't speak for everybody. I just know how we are. But it does matter. And, and we saw a change when, we wanted to get someone out of office. I hope people take it serious.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, LeBron, kind of to Dave's point, you have a platform built on sort of more than an athlete as its underlying premise. I'm curious, how have you seen the seriousness that people have taken that as they've waded into other waters? And I'm curious if you've evolved in sort of, whether when it comes to things like social media and stuff like that, in terms of, like, yes, this is something I want to talk about or address, and maybe this is something I don't want to talk about or address.
I think you guys have grown to know me over the last few years that I've been a part of this organization, and Dave has known me a little bit longer, trying to look around. Okay, that's it. I speak about things that kind of hit home for me. That comes from my heart, comes from my gut. Things that I believe in, things that I'm passionate about. Or some things that just hit me and I just know that it's just wrong. I definitely have, common sense, and I know the difference between right and wrong. And with more than an athlete, obviously it's gained legs that that I didn't even think that it was going to create, because I was literally talking about me and my situation and what I had going on with some lady on some station on television. So I was speaking for me that I'm more than an athlete, and what I do and what I talk about and what I represent, not only just on the court, obviously, but off the floor as well. So I don't know. It kind of just it kind of all depends. Everyone's not going to agree with everything that you talk about. I've literally muted like 25, 35 people on my Twitter account over the last week because I've been sitting in bed, so I've been able to look at a lot of people just saying harmful things. So I've just been hitting the mute button on a lot of people. I've never done that. It's actually pretty fun. So I got like 2 more days to be in the bed before I become myself again. So if you got something harmful to say, you will be muted. I won't see it. It's just, I don't know. It's just if it feels right, and if my people are calling for me to sometimes say something because they need a voice and they need a platform, then I'm there for them. All right, appreciate it.
Do the mute for 14 days. Hey, Russ, defense had kind of been the thing for you guys heading into this game. Did you notice anything about tonight's energy or effort or in the way that Utah played as being the difference tonight?
They just started off playing a lot faster than us, step slow. and it showed. We tried to pick it up in the second half, but put ourselves in a bad position early.
Russ, you had that stretch in the third. We had the alley-oop and the three-pointer, and you were at the free throw line. There were some fans chanting MVP for you. Did that moment in this building have any significance for you to kind of hear just how much the fans have come behind you in the last week or so?
Honestly, I'm just grateful and blessed, man. I give all my thanks and all my credit to the men above for allowing me to be able to go out and compete. Good games, bad games, off nights, good nights. And I'll just let my play and my work speak for itself.
There's been there's been a bunch of talk, Russ, about as a group needing the offense to catch up to the defense, and the defense had been pretty solid through the first 7 games. And you mentioned the speed of things, but do you think anything had to do with the shift in focus of we got to get our offense going that maybe some of the defensive habits slipped?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I haven't even heard that commentary, at least from us internally. So I'm not sure why it was tonight, but it's the NBA, man. 82 games. Sometimes there will be times you have some slippage, and you can be beat on any given night, and that's a good ball club.
Russ, to kind of elaborate on Utah, what did you make of them? They were a team that entered the season without maybe a lot of expectations. What did you think of seeing them? First team in the West to 7 wins.
They play hard, play together. You can see that with their group and their work and their competitive spirit and nature shows.
Russ, how you doing? Crystal, nice to meet you. Right over here. Hey. So I'm sure you don't believe in moral victories, but you were dynamic as soon as you hit the hardwood. Is there anything that you can take away from that?
Just constantly keep bringing what I know how to do, and not just play basketball with a competitive fire and spirit, and let my energy kind of be contagious. Try the best way I can to be able to come in and be effective some way or somehow, and I continue doing that. It put us in the right position.